Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jamie.
We are Shade Tree Chefs. So, kind of funny story. I thought we were getting together this past weekend to grill, and I get over to Jamie's house, and he had other plans.
I had a honey-do list, more like a number one list of replace the kitchen flooring.
Replace a kitchen flooring. So I thought we're just gonna sit there and grill, and instead we're going to the local hardware store to get new flooring.
Which, yeah, turned into from a one-day trip to 2 days because not only are we Shade Tree Chefs, we are also Shade Tree
Flooring installers,
flooring
I guess.
Shade Tree handymen, as it were.
Right. A beautiful weekend for it, though.
Yeah.
We couldn't have asked for, what did it get, about 60 degrees, so
Yeah,
not
60,
too warm.
Felt like 70. It was awesome.
With that being said, I think we've kind of decided our consistency of when we actually get together and record is it's not very consistent. And given that this is a grilling, cooking podcast, we feel it's better that we move our release date or release day of the week. Where we've decided to release them on Friday mornings.
Friday mornings would work out a little bit better because you're probably thinking grilling and stuff more on the weekend versus Monday when you're starting your work week. So,
And we can be a little more consistent on our end because this way, if Jamie does throw some, project on us for
flooring,
the flooring,
different room of the house,
right?
maybe. Or,
Well, I mean, give me a heads up at least. All right.
So,
now we have asked in the past about funny grilling stories. We've had a couple of our own that we've shared. We did get a reply. This one coming from Kristen. We personally know Kristen. All right. So she was using a gas grill at a fine dining restaurant and having issues with the pilot light. She went to get a lighter down the line and came back to light it manually. Well, she hadn't stopped the gas, and as you can imagine, it caused an explosion. She can remember everything went black, and the fireball went black around the fireball, and it was over as fast as it had been created. The lady behind her was flipping out and screaming, my hair, my hair." I smelled burnt hair. After checking her ponytail was intact, I had looked down at my arms and realized I had singed all the fine blonde hairs off my arms. Thousands of little charcoal dots had formed all down my arms. She was lucky it didn't get badly hurt, but will never forget the smell of my burnt hairs. Been there. That's like when it wasn't gas. It was with the charcoal smoker, but lighter fluid.
sure,
Right?
same concept. It's fuel. It's
But you know what? She actually has a few good stories here, so might as well just go through them all.
yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, what?
No, I was gonna say. I mean, just the scariness of the explosion, and I could imagine, blacking out, and that's the best thing possible, and not blowing up, I guess. But
Yeah, I feel the concussion from the explosion. So it's
Right.
great to hear nobody got seriously hurt, just a few singed arm hairs.
and I wonder if she kept her job.
All right, so this is a charcoal experience. She once put asparagus on the grill, on the same direction of the grill, and just about all of them rolled through the grates and onto the coals.
So who wants chips, right?
I have also done that.
Not all of them. I've lost a couple, but yeah, that's
Or you start out, going cross section and
Right.
and you roll them and
yeah, because you want to rotate them, you want to turn them, and you want to cook them evenly. But then all of a sudden they start rolling into the in between the grates. But
and one more. This is actually Chad, her husband. Invited people over for a barbecue, but when he went and lifted to the lid, he noticed all the chicken was charcoal black and still raw on the inside. They all went out for Chinese instead.
I think Chinese is your fallback for everything. I don't
Good
know.
thing that they're open pretty much all the time.
Yeah, year round. But yeah, that's what would that be? High heat, too high of heat, and just assuming I don't know.
Yeah, or on to, I don't know.
We'll have to
We've forgotten about things on the grill.
we'll have to talk to Chad and find out for sure. But
That's definitely some good stories there. It's unfortunate, but that we have so many, but we're all Shade Tree chefs, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
keep them rolling in. That's fun to hear and fun to talk about.
sure we both have a couple we have not mentioned yet, saving for a rainy day. So today we decided to talk about
Burgers.
burgers. All right. So a lot of things go into burgers, right? I mean, yeah,
Burgers are our biggest topic. We have so many things to talk about with burgers, you know. So
you can go to the store, buy the frozen patties, throw them on. But you're not doing that. I mean, I personally, I can't say I look too much, and maybe that's a downfall of my meat selection. I'll look for maybe an 80-20, but not really. Is it sirloin or
Chuck
what or chuck?
or-
What about yourself?
I do 80-20. That's the number I'm going for. And by a pound gets you how many burgers? What, 5? 4 or 5?
5. I
Something
guess
like that.
depends how big of burgers you
So,
make.
Yeah, I typically do quarter pounders, something like that, maybe a little bit smaller, but
Do you have a go-to seasoning, or do you switch it up?
switch it up. I've bought in the past stuff from like the butcher, like something that specifically says burger seasoning, or you go to like Pick and Save or a different grocery store and they sell burger seasoning
Right.
specifically for that.
Like the McCormick's.
The
they got a
McCormick's,
bunch.
and I think Weber makes some now.
Weber does, yep.
Yeah, there's plenty of options out there for that. A good steak seasoning is a really good alternative to a burger seasoning. It's got kind of the same flavor profile, but more of it'd be more of like a salt.
Right,
uh,
right. Probably
flavor to
my
it.
favorite, I think it's actually called like a prime rib rub or whatnot. I'll throw that on
That's-
burgers,
that
throw it on
sounds good.
steaks.
Yeah.
A couple. I thought it was proprietary to this one local butcher shop, and then I went to another one, and it just had a different name on it, but
Sure.
same labeling. It's like, which was good. Okay,
Yeah.
I can find this in other places if because I did move. I wasn't as close to that said butcher anymore.
Right. Yeah, and they probably found the same website or the same recipe and just followed it and called it their own.
So I mean, burgers. It's we're here in America. It's a big thing. Burgers are huge, right? So I mean, I know I've gone through several gadgets, right? Dealing with burgers as far as presses or formers, right?
Yeah. The one I have, I forget the brand of it, but it's got the two sides to it, so you can make like a quarter pounder and you can make a little bit bigger burger with the half pounder, I believe, on the other side. You just flip it around. What I do is I put like a little bit of like canola spray or olive oil spray on it, so your meat doesn't stick to it, and then you press it and it gives that little dimple and it gives it perfect size every single time.
I have definitely not pre-greased it, and it's either sticks in the form,
And then
or
you're
it's against the cutting board.
Yeah, and then you're getting your
scraping
finger
it
in
up.
there and you're trying to pry it out of there, and it's kind of a
Extra
pain.
dimples, man.
Extra dimples, yeah. And what happens if you don't put that dimple in there?
Oh, well, I mean,
Then you get
I
that.
don't know the science behind it, but I know I have either hand pressed, probably more when I hand press the burgers out, and you put them on the grill and you lift that lid and you have giant meatballs.
Yeah, the burger itself shrinks in diameter, and it raises, and
Yeah.
it becomes a meatball.
It becomes a meatball.
And then you start serving burgers out, and you're like, okay, here's your burgers, and then they disappear because it's all bun.
Well, then you try compensating for it, right? I know I've done it where you're like, okay, I don't want meatballs, so you smash them out. Next thing you know, you end up with burgers that are bigger than the bun.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. That's I guess something I've yet to fully
Sure.
figure out.
Sure.
Is
There's
it-
a couple different options out there too for presses, but the one I have is pretty good. Like I
You
said,
don't really get that clumping up.
you don't get the clumping up. No, it makes that perfect dimple in there, so you don't get that raise, so the meat itself doesn't raise and become a meatball. Diameter itself, it fits on the bun perfectly. You just kind of you grab say a little small handful of meat. You obviously you don't want to mix up that meat too much, otherwise, I don't know why, but the cook itself kind of is affected by that. So
Another good thing too. We're talking about hand form. I kind of going back seasoning. I just thought about it. So you go out by your 80-20. Do you add anything to just the raw burger before you make the patties and season them? Do you season and then form?
Yeah, so I'll take the package of meat, I'll take it out, I'll put it in like a steel mixing bowl, and then I'll mix. I lightly knead the meat with whatever seasoning I choose, whether it's salt, pepper, garlic, or like the Lowry's or whatever burger seasoning I want to. And I'll season it, throw the seasoning in there, and like I said, I'll knead it, but I won't tear it all apart because you want it to kind of remain sticky. You don't want to tear it apart and lose your structure. So then you grab your meatballs one at a time, you put it in your burger press, squish it, and you got perfect burger just about every time.
Boom.
So
I'll take onion mix,
that's a good
like
one
the
too.
onion soup mix, and just dump it in there with the meat. You said mix it around, and then form the patties, and I'll season them after the fact.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got that down, Pat. How about cheese? Do you throw your cheese on?
Most of the time, I forget about the cheese, and then the family is yelling at me because
But I want a cheese.
they wanted cheese.
Well, I
And
guess you're throwing cold
now
cheese
they're
on
taking
the.
the cold cheese and
Yeah.
putting them on
I guess
the
you
warm burger.
throw it in the microwave, maybe, but.
Um,
Yeah, you could put cheese on top. When do you put the cheese on? If you did,
uh,
probably.
Generally, I do it when it's like, okay, the burgers are done. Let's get some cheese, throw it on, get it indirect,
Mm-hmm.
close all, close the vents,
Yeah.
and just
Let the
it
fire
sit
die
for a little
down.
bit.
Let it sit for a little bit. What's your favorite cheese? I like to do pepper jack.
Pepper jack's good. I've experimented with some. Obviously, the American cheese is probably the standard, but cheddar,
I've done Munster.
Munster, nice.
So I mean, pick your favorite cheese. There's a lot of them. So
Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong combination.
I think better than putting the cheese on top is filling the burger with cheese, and that's kind of a difficult process too because you're not using that press. You're going to, I guess, make like a hand formed patty itself. Put the cheese that you like inside there, or what else could you put in there? You know what I mean?
Oh,
You can-
anything. I believe you had gifted it to me. It was a press. Now, I did use it quite a bit just to make regular patties, but it was for a stuffed burger press. And I used it once or twice, but I mean, you couldn't. You needed a fork and a knife to eat these burgers because they just came out, just
big.
4 inches thick. You couldn't fit them in your mouth. What I ended up doing, like you said, you make a thinner patty, and what I like to do is I actually had some like brick of cheese, and I'd cut it up, and then I'd take that and put it on the inside, form another patty. And you're gonna lose cheese. It's gonna find its way out as we're
yeah,
cooking.
yeah, it's gonna ooze.
But I personally like that a lot better than waiting to the end and throwing a piece of cheese because I mean once it melts, I mean how much of it is
You don't-
actually just oozing off?
Yeah, and you almost don't taste the cheese itself. It looks nice. It looks like a traditional burger, but you retain the flavor of that cheese, or like mushrooms. Mushrooms and cheese are my two favorite things to stuff inside of the burger because it's just your classic mushroom and Swiss or
Right. Onions. I mean,
onions is
jalapenos. I mean,
Yep.
it's really. The only thing I'd say is don't put a meat in the center that isn't cooked. That would take longer than your burger.
yeah. You're not gonna put bacon in there or but
But it is a good surprise, because you get that first bite and you get to that pocket of those mushrooms and cheese or whatnot, and you get a lot more to it. So yeah, it's I think you get more of that cheese flavor or more cheese out of doing it that way.
Yeah, and I don't know who coined the term first, but I believe they're called Juicy Lucy's.
Juicy Lucy's.
Yep. So, besides traditional grilling, grilling a burger, which obviously everyone knows and loves to do, I just started doing smash burgers, which you can do indoors on your stovetop as well with a nice cast iron skillet. But
Right now,
What's-
you have a bunch of outdoor skillets, right? Propane.
Sure.
Or,
yeah, I have an accessory for my Weber, my 22-inch grill that it sits right on top of there. It replaces the grate itself, and you get your short order cook flat top right there.
Right. So now I've seen it on cooking shows or whatnot. Do you put a pan or a brick or anything heavy? I think I've even seen where they make, a cast iron. A tool essentially to make smash burgers. Do you use anything like that to really get that press on them?
Yeah, I use I have a smash or like you said like an iron. In the past, I've just used two flat spatulas. Crisscross the spatulas, push down really hard, and that because you take your meatball, you throw it on that hot skillet or hot kettle or whatever flat top you have, and you don't need a lot of coal, which is the beauty of this. You only need maybe a half a chimney of charcoal to get that heat. But then, yeah, you take your meatballs, you can probably fit 6, 8, a whole heck of a lot more burgers on that flat top
Yeah,
by doing that.
but what I'm talking about is afterwards. You get it flattened out, and then they were putting that brick, or, a pan with a
Yeah.
brick in it on top of it to help it while
To
it was
keep
cooking.
it, yeah. So I actually bought a kit. I don't know the name brand of it right now, and I don't want to say the name brand, but it's yeah, you put it on top of it. It's kind of concave, and it sits on top of there, and it creates sort of that what would you call it? The can't think of it. Anyways, but it heats it up and makes it go really fast. And the nice thing about that is you're making a lot of burgers in a short amount of time. So
Do you normally use throw a couple patties on each burger then, or is it just a
yeah, they're
real
really
thin
small.
burger?
They're sliders, and in our house we've done in the past. We've bought like little what is it, King's Hawaiian little
Yes, yep.
the sweet little mini buns, like slider buns, and I'll make little ones, little smash burgers, and you can eat like 2, 3, 4 burgers at a crack.
Right,
and,
right.
Just like almost like little finger food, which is really nice.
What about toppings? You got some go-tos that you put on your burgers?
I try to do more than just the cheese, but a lot of times, it's a weeknight. I just grab, the meat, the buns, and the cheese, and I forget about further toppings. But I like to do, if I do have time, I'll do like pickles, your traditional pickles, lettuce. If I have a fresh tomato, I like to grow my own tomatoes in the summertime, so I'll just go outside, grab a tomato off the bush, and slice that up and throw that on there too.
I think that is an issue we have with burgers. Generally, that's that. Hey, I want to grill. It's a nice day. What are we gonna throw on the grill? And it's one of those you don't put all that thought into. It's
Sure.
I either have some frozen patties. I'm gonna throw a little seasoning on them, get it on the grill, throw a little cheese on it, ketchup, mustard, mayo, whatever it is, and there it is. And I mean that's still a good burger.
One word: bacon.
Bacon.
So with your flat top, if you have like an attachment for your grill, or if you have like an actual flat top or whatever the case, just cook some bacon up alongside your burgers, or even just before, because it does take a little bit longer to cook up your bacon. But yeah, make some bacon, thick cut bacon alongside of it. It's awesome.
I actually tried only once. I cut up raw bacon and mixed it in with the burger meat
Okay.
and formed the patties that way. I did not care for it too much that day. It held a lot of the grease, but I had leftovers and I reheated it the next day and it was phenomenal.
I wonder if you can do like not just bacon bits, but like the pre-cooked bacon where you can microwave it. I don't know if that would
That would
taste any
probably
good.
That would probably work out. I mean, if you get it more in the middle, more of like a stuffed burger.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I won't lie, I have used it myself. It's nice and quick.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. For a weeknight, you're not entertaining. You're not going to use it for entertainment. I mean, maybe you will, but just for a quick, you want more flavor than just your burger and cheese. Throw some bacon on it. So
You go to go to a restaurant known for their burgers and just some of the crazy combinations that they have. It's one of those. It's like burgers, for me at least, is one of those quick night dinners. I don't think like, hey, how are we gonna make this gourmet? And it's something though that I think we have enough to where why are we neglecting this, American iconic dinner,
yeah,
right? I mean, they got peanut butter and jalapeno. I mean, just the crazy stuff they put on, and it's so good.
oh, peanut butter on a burger is amazing. It's so good. I forgot what restaurant I had it from, but that's a good topping to have. But,
Yeah, there's several places I've seen it, and I definitely neglect the burger itself. And I mean, I think if we're talking about that, the burger ends up being that quick night food. What about sides?
sides, there's a lot of options. I mean, chips. I like to do fries. Get a bag of frozen fries. Like I said,
Yeah.
we'll keep talking about weeknight dinners, but
Do you
grab a
grill
bag-
them? Do you grill the fries, or do you just?
I've never grilled fries. I've grilled tater tots, which I don't know why I haven't grilled fries. I guess.
I have done it. I want to say I've seen a like steak fries or something like that. And I want to say on the bag it even said grilling instructions. But you're gonna have a basket, or much like Kristen's story about the asparagus, you have the same thing with your fries. But these are almost wedges, potato wedges, and they turn out really good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could do that. Fries, tater tots, chips, salads. You know, like a good
Baked beans. That's generally
baked beans is another.
just pop open the can,
Yeah.
throw it on the grill with it, and
Yep.
there you go.
Yep. How do you cook your burger? Have you tried what I showed you with steaks, where you do the indirect, or have you ever done indirect?
Indirect. Yeah, I'd say I probably do more indirect than I realize. You know, you get them over, they seem like they're getting too hot. You know,
Yeah.
generally I'll have like a 2 zone, move it off to the side, because I mean the coals are gonna be hot.
Sure.
Generally wide open. So yeah,
Or
do I necessarily start them off?
Or even worse, with a gas grill, you start getting those big flame ups, and you want to move
Big
your
flare-ups.
because it's 80-20. There's 20% fat in there. You want to move that off to the side because you'll get a lot of flare ups with burgers.
Yeah, yeah. Even when I did have a gas grill, I wouldn't have all the zones going. And I'd more eyeball it, get it over if it seemed like it was cooking quicker than the rest,
Sure.
or getting burnt due to a flare up or that hot spot over the coals. I'd say I'd move them around quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, so we've covered all our topics for grilling burgers. If you have tips, tricks, or insights, or how do you guys make burgers?
Yeah, we're actually asking because it seemed like a great topic when it's like, let's do something about burgers. There's tons to talk about, and I know me personally, I'm sitting here now saying, wow, for as many times as I've cooked burgers,
Outside
I've not done them justice because
No.
you do the same thing.
Yeah, outside of hot dogs, I think burgers is the second most grilled thing people do. So, yeah, if you have something, send us an email. Let us know.
Where could they send that email to?
ShadeTreeChefs@gmail.com.
ShadeTreeChefs@gmail.com.
We also have we got an Instagram now, so
Instagram. I should probably download Instagram so
Yeah.
I can take a look at that.
we're on there. So check us out on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Obviously, we have our podcast on Google, Apple, Spotify, you name it.
There's other ones that are showing up that I've never even heard of.
So find us on there, hit subscribe, because like I said, we're going to be probably releasing more towards Fridays. So don't miss that. With that being said,
That being said, I'm Matt,
and I'm Jamie.
and we are the Shade Tree Chefs. Till next time, grill on.